Hey y'all, welcome to episode 30 of the Stay at Home Son podcast. And today we have a really great interview for y'all. We are going to be reviewing and talking to the creators and actors of the film The Neighbor. We have had them on the podcast before, but this time they're talking about a whole new film, and we're so happy to have them back on. So I want to thank y'all for coming on the show.
Ju-
Thank you
Just
for
to
having us.
give you a quick correction, the movie's called Neighbor, not The Neighbor.
All right, well, we'll repeat that then. It's Neighbor.
Sorry. It's so specific now. I'm only saying that because with our current film Intruder that's come out, there's like three other Intruders on Tubi. And then
Yeah.
Right.
there's The Intruder, there's Intruders, and then there's like Flight of the Intruder. I tend to pick names that seem to be very popular lately. So I
Well,
just wanted
there's
to be really clear for your audience that they're looking for Neighbor.
Yeah, no, let them know. Let them know. I'll tell you, it's funny you say that because in college we were on a college TV station, and it was called App TV, and there was another App TV somewhere, so they would always have to put an App TV app state to get it to pop up. So it's just like,
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's getting hard to come up with something that somebody hasn't like thought of a name or
Yeah.
something. Coming up with a
Think
band name anymore. It's like
think
what do we call ourselves that hasn't been done?
right, right.
right.
You think
So
it's bad now? Wait another like 50 to 100 years, people are gonna be like, dude, I don't know what to call it. It's already been
Well,
done.
you won't have to. AI will just do it for you.
yeah, yeah. Movie titles are just gonna be like dashes and semicolons and numbers.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
What humans, dude?
So anyway, I guess to start off now, what inspired this film? What inspired Neighbor?
Neighbor is a collection of semi-real events that actually happened to me in my life. Neighbor is also a film that is heavily involved in this topic of depression. It seems to have been a topic of mine for my last two films. Neighbor is like a culmination of so many things, but it's my love of film for one, because it's a black and white noir, so it really shows a lot of I think the roots of filmmaking and where really I fell in love with just piecing a story together, and it comes from the simplest form of filmmaking. Neighbor's also a very personal story. Like I said, there's snippets of my life, and Frank plays really a couple characters in my life in one written for the story. So it really comes from that, and the fact that Andrew and I had just finished Intruder. Intruder was set to come out last October, and the summer was coming up. And well, we make movies, so we're like, well, what's the next thing? And I said, hey, let's do like this really cool, like minimalist black and white noir. That's just like let's use what we have and let's just go almost like Frank had mentioned the other day, Clerks. Like it's very much like Clerks.
Right.
I'm a huge Kevin Smith fan, so going back to the simplest form is what I wanted to do. Intruder was so big. It was a sci-fi. We had a set that we built for a spaceship that was 50 feet long. We had a cast of, I think, almost 50 people when it was all done. I wanted to do the opposite. I wanted to do something that was a little bit more, I guess, like more to my heart and something that felt more like a thought.
It's very personal. It was very raw and personal, and Christian really takes you on this emotional journey with these characters. And I mean, it's wouldn't say minimalistic, but I mean, it's to the point of it's very raw, and you really feel the emotions as you sit and watch, and the deeper that you get into this film, and the deeper that these characters get into this story, it really starts to touch you, and you can really feel what these characters are feeling. I mean, the actors have done such a beautiful job of bringing Christian's words to life, that we watched it 2 weeks ago as a cast and crew, and I mean, you really feel the emotions come right through the screen and hit you. It's really beautifully done. I mean, it's an art film at the end of the day. I mean, the black and white of it all. I mean, Christian, said that it's kind of like Clerks, the way that he made it. I mean, it was literally just him and two others behind the camera at times, and then the actors just playing off of each other, and him directing us, kind of telling us what avenues he likes and doesn't like, and he really just let us play and take these characters away and see what we could find within it, and it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, definitely. And Frank, I think you did a really good job playing your character in Jeff. I think he came across really.
Thank
I
you.
mean, he was so manipulative. I mean, I was rooting for him. I was like, "Come on, Jared, let him take him in the car, get him to his place, man. Let him come down and have a slice of pizza." Like he's like, you came across as
Pizza
so like
pretzel.
real. So how are you able to get into that mindset, man? Because you even had me fooled.
Right, right. I mean, I try to come off as a very nice guy. I mean, I try to. I mean, I am a very nice guy. It all comes straight from the heart. And then when you see me play characters like this, I try to go off of people from my past. I mean, this script when I first auditioned for it and when I first read it, I mean, a few people from my own past came to my mind. I'm sure that they were, very similar than as the guys that Christian knew when he was writing this. So I mean, I tried to just stay focused on these one or two guys that I've known from my past, and then also bring a little bit of my own history, to the character. When me and Alaire, who plays Jared, when we were on set, I tried to also just kind of stay in this mentality as well, so that I didn't lose it. I'm a very talkative and loud person to begin with, but I tried to really just continue to stay in that form as we were shooting, and it really helped a lot. I mean, plus Alaire makes each one of those scenes so easy. I mean, he's a wonderful actor. Him, Dana, Allison, that I had scenes with. I mean, they were so easy to bounce off of. It's just I felt like I was saying sorry a lot because some of the things this character does and says was always something a little bit crazy. So, but yeah, just I had a blast.
I
That's
Yeah,
think your
so
character too, the character Jeff is like has a lot more looseness about him in general.
Right,
So I think
right,
your character was the one that would have needed the allowance to go
right,
off script and to be,
right.
which is cool.
Yeah,
Alair's acting style is very grounded, which is great for what we had there.
character.
Because if you have two actors that go way off a script, you can just completely derail.
Right,
So
right, right,
great mixture between the two of you guys' acting style. I
right.
was really
So
happy.
I always made sure that if because Christian was great allowing me to kind of throw in my own little things. I mean, when I did the call, like that was, I was looked around, made sure that that was cool with everybody. I think that was the first day of shooting, and then once I kind of got that okay from Christian to just let it go, then I was like, okay, great. But I just always made sure that I hit the right lines to let Alaire know that that I'm right back to the script of where we were, so that he could hit his marks as well. But yeah, I went a little haywire sometimes, and just let it ride. And that's like the most beautiful part of acting, is being able to feel it and step into those shoes, and the director allowing you to do that. So it was a great
Mhm.
experience.
so personally, I one of my favorite parts about the film is kind of like how like you almost get like two realities, like one reality like in the book from as he's writing, and one in like real life, I guess you want to call it that. So where'd you come up with that concept?
Well, I'm a writer, so yeah, I guess the whole writing aspect is very easy for me to cling to. Also, I don't really believe anybody doesn't write what they know. I mean, I'm sure Stephen King writes what he knows. Most of his stories take place, in the areas where he lives, and he writes the type of stories that he's familiar with that are, twisted into horror stories from his perspective. Um, I write what I know, and I mean, it's I'm sorry, I'm getting lost in the question. Um, it just that connection to writing and having your own reality in your own life and morphing it into what inspires you to write, I guess, is where I'm coming from. Sorry. That's why I'm a better writer than a speaker sometimes. I can go
And then
back and reread what I'm saying here. But I mean, basically, with anybody who's a writer, I think you write what you know, and that's what got put into this story is a lot of my own reality.
Right.
And then also, I like to ask about in these interviews, I like to ask about my favorite scene in the movie. So I think my favorite scene is when you, Frank, kind of like eat the pizza from him, like after he's like with like after you kind of after you're kind of like ticked off from him with his new girlfriend. So
Yeah.
just kind of talk about that, like how'd you all come up with that, and like
Right.
um how'd you go about filming that?
Yep. So. So that whole scene is one of my favorites as well. Because it lets Jared breathe a little bit. Jared and Nell have this long scene of connection, and he finally, lets his hair down and kind of enjoys the company of someone else, and is calming. I mean, they're by the river, the trees, the beautiful landscape in the background, and you get this sense as a viewer that like that this can't just be okay. Like something needs to be going wrong right now at the moment. So it keeps, maybe because I know what's coming, but it kept me on the edge of my seat, especially the way that he's just kind of opening himself up to her, and trying to just be happy with his life, and letting her know about his depression and his loss. And I mean, he hasn't spoken on that at all until this point in the movie, and this is a little bit deeper in, to where when you get to that point where where I come walking around the corner and you see me walking in the distance, you're just like, oh shit, here we go. uh,
No, that's
Not
exactly
again,
what
like
I
this.
thought. That's exactly what I thought. And I was happy that you finally came to the level there because it's an important scene because it's really the first
Right,
scene where you're like, okay, this guy's actually a bad guy, you know? Because
right,
even
right,
when you're doing the check-ins with your sister or whatever on the drugs and everything, it's like, okay, well, his heart is in the right place, you know? So you got to
right.
root for him. And it's
Maybe he's
just
just into the wrong stuff, but yeah,
yeah,
no.
and you're watching it and you're uncomfortable because you're like, oh, I hope he doesn't like tell him to F off because you like the guy still, you know? And it's so
Right.
I was almost relieved when you finally showed his true colors because I was just like, oh, thank God.
Right. You're like,
But
oh no, this guy's a scumbag through and through. Yeah, there is no redemption for Jeff as a character at all.
yeah,
Um, but shooting that scene, I mean, we blocked it for a little while. I mean, we had a lot of time to play with it. I think it was Christian's idea to grab the pizza and off the table, and to take a bite of it and throw it back down and do the whole thing. And yeah, it was just I mean, working with everyone as a cohesive unit that day. I mean, this scene, I think, is one of the most important scenes in the film, that that really brings you these really brings you up and down as you watch emotionally. And to come in and to screw all that up, and to mess up their little date, but also to mess up Jared's little bit of hope that he had, that maybe he has something with this girl. And then when Jeff even pokes at her, like, hey, don't I know you? Then it's really, as a viewer, you're like, oh God, this guy's just trying to destroy like his whole existence. Like, what is happening here? But I mean, you fight for Jared in that moment as a viewer, to hope that he can finally stand up for himself against this guy, and he does. But it just continues to go a little downhill from there. So yeah, it's one of my favorite scenes in the film. So I think it's beautiful. It's beautifully written as well. I mean,
oh, you're good. I think you cut
Yeah,
out.
I think he froze. Maybe.
Oh
I mean,
no.
sorry.
Oh, never
That
mind.
whole that whole dialogue that they have through it is beautiful. I can't wait to watch it again next week, and rewatch the whole thing as well. So.
Yeah, no, it's definitely a film that's worthy of a rewatch just because of all the great character dynamics. And one of the character dynamics, speaking of like beautiful character dynamics that I really liked, was the character dynamic between Jared and the girl called Baby Goat, who he used to call with. So how were you able to kind of get that chemistry between the two actors, with her being so young and she was super talented? And how were you able to kind of get that natural chemistry? Because it felt so wholesome and it felt like they really had that connection.
I think a lot of it starts with writing. Like I said, this really is based upon snippets in my life. For 10 years, I actually was a counselor, child counselor before and after school, where I had the pleasure of doing artwork and leading group activities and really doing a lot of fun stuff outside, playing on the playground and playing in a gym. The story that happens in Neighbor of Baby Goat is based upon many stories. It's based upon many conversations I've had with kids throughout time who go through really horrible things, and they share them with you because you're their friend in the afternoon, you're their friend in the morning. That's what you're paid to do, and you get to know these kids. You almost watch some of them grow up, and you share a lot of personal stories with them, and really they confide in you and listen to you, and to the advice you give them sometimes, or even just listening to them, and I guess Neighbor is the movie where I guess I got to express that part of me.
Definitely. And one question I got too is, what was the hardest day on set? What was the day that was just like, oh, this is not going right?
Uh, the hardest day on set actually was all the scenes that we shot with Izzy Miller that day. She is the young lady that's in the scenes that we're talking about who plays Baby Goat.
It's
Uh,
wonderful.
it
Yeah.
was sweltering. It was like 98 degrees and humid like crazy that whole week. And we shot that weekend. I think me and Andrew were shooting 3 days straight with the lair. I mean, we were exhausted by the third day because it just never let up.
Yeah.
And on top of it being hot, most of the sound in those sections had to be overdubbed later with ADR because even though the miking system that we've been using is great and works 99% of the time wonderfully, these were so noisy. The location was the hellmouth of noise. It was just for some reason that day we got all the pocket of traffic from a highway and a road. You could barely hear what they were saying for some reason. It was just terrible. I wish I could I would have reshot it somewhere else if we could have.
So I just got a couple more questions for you. So first, I mean, Frank, between like seeing you with the Wawa Cup earlier and you saying, "Oh, down in AC," was this filmed in New Jersey?
Portions of it. Yeah. 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 Yeah.
You called it, Thomas.
It was in Florence, New Jersey. For the scenes that I shot over there were in Florence, and we also shot it around PA on the outskirts of Philadelphia, up in Douglasville, PA, and around Philly. So
Yeah, Douglasville, PA was where what I call the set location. So Andrew's home has been a set location for three films now. We just reused the rooms in different ways.
right,
All the news footage that we've shot on the previous three films were done at Andrew Hunsicker's den, like
right.
his den in the front of his house. Um, we shot a very large amount in Florence, New Jersey. Frank wasn't there for a lot of the Florence stuff. He was there for I think a day or two of Florence, and that was it.
Yep.
He was there a lot for what we consider the set days in Douglasville, and a lot of the driving scenes and in the trailer park took place in Douglasville. All the bike riding scenes that you see throughout the film that are shot in slow motion, all the river scenes, all of the neighborhoods that you really see, that's Florence, New Jersey, and it was really playing a character in the film. I had lived there for 4 years. It's a very quiet town. There's not much to do there, but I found a bike riding trail that I fell in love with, and I
Right.
rode it like once, sometimes even twice a day.
And is the main character is he schizophrenic because he keeps seeing the wife character even though in his book even though she's not real.
So she's not really a wife. She is a representation for loss. So she is a representation in his own life for loss that he hasn't dealt with. So she is a story that he can't finish because he can't say goodbye to whoever it is that he lost. In the case of this movie, it's his daughter that he had lost. Um, she's not his wife. She's a character in his book that he's trying to finish, and she's actually called the victim. Is the name is her is Dana's title in Neighbor. She plays the victim in his story. She's the unnamed victim because he could never name her because he didn't want to put ownership to who it was.
Gotcha. Well, like I said, this film had so many twists and turns and so many amazing character dynamics, and it reaches up on so many great things. So I just want to applaud you all for working on it and doing such a great job. And I'm just wishing it all the most success. And what is the best way for people to watch this when it does come out? And what's the future for this film that y'all hoping to get?
Well, I hope a bright future and thank you for your support. You can watch it on Tubi, May 12th, and Zumo, that's XUMO. They're both completely free apps that you can use on your phone, your tablet, your television, your smart TV, anywhere. You can watch Neighbor for free. Tubi's a really great landing place for us. We try to send everybody there. They've been a host to many of my films. So yeah, check it out on Tubi or Zumo, May 12th.
Gotcha. Well, I want to thank y'all for coming on the show today, and I hope y'all had a great time on the podcast. Y'all be sure to check out Neighbor, and remember, stay at home.